Hey, it is Bazzy from Reddit Heroes, and I actually don't know whether we're going to win or lose this war. We've got 2 hours left in the war, and as you can see, we have cleaned up every single Town Hall 9 and lower on the map. And at the very top, unfortunately, we got matched against 3 different Town Hall 10s. We have 0 Town Hall 10s. We did a really good job. We got a 3-star on one of them. We've got a 2-star on the third. And probably we can be able to jump up and get the 2-star number 1 as well, no problem. So I'm going to bank us as at 73 stars for this war. And then it's just a question, can these other guys come and clean up? And I'm guessing no, because they've got a pretty large number of holes, despite having some pretty good attackers. So let's go for the war recap nonetheless. Now, right at the top, I have yours truly, and in fact this is the first time I've actually put my main account into this war, but I figure it's going up against a sort of 9.5, so if there's ever a time to do it, this is the 3-star for it. So you can see from this base, a pretty terrible base. We've got low-level walls, we do have the 3rd Expo down, and we do have the single targeting level 1 Inferno. So level 1 Inferno is going to be pretty easy to deal with. We're just going to take the Valkyries, and off on the far right side, we're going to be able to have a baby dragon clear up a whole bunch of that stuff. So nonetheless, a Queen Walk starts on the top. We have the baby dragon, or excuse me, the normal sized dragon, and the 2 loons, which has been drawn out by the hog. Our little baby dragon is off on the far right, so an easy kill for the Queen Walk. And the Queen Walk is going to be able to sort of walk this bad little funnel all the way into the base, taking out defense after defense after defense. So it's a really nice spot. I don't normally have the Queen Walk so far away from the entry. Now you can see the Valks and the Bowlers and the King all going in at the bottom. I don't normally do that, but in this case, I have to rage the Queen, and I have to rage the Valkyries, and it sort of clears out this entire bottom portion of the base. Kind of funny, actually, if you watch this king walks all the way out and around the base, does not decide to continue in, which causes a little bit of a problem, but nonetheless, there's sort of stuff happening all over the map. There's some hogs going in on the left here. They're going to hit the heel. We've got the Valkyries inside that same heel. We've got a bowler. The Queen is still up doing work. And the King down here on the right does not have the ability. So at this point, it's just a question of time. Even if it didn't have all the Valkyries and the bowlers, which are going to converge on the end, we'd be able to pop that King ability. And with the Queen, with the healers on her, it's going to be the 3-star more or less no matter what. So as my customary phrase is, good job to whoever, I guess this is good job to myself. Okay, next up I wanted to look at Joey Rollerblade. I think this is Joey's either first or second time, I can't remember, but nonetheless he does an excellent attack, and I always like attacks that are going to do a Queen Walk with only 3 healers. It's just sort of a default. When you do a Queen Walk, you throw down 4 healers on it, but of course that's a lot of truth space if it isn't necessary, and in this case it isn't. So Joey does excellent job at deciding that he only needs the 3 healers, and he manages to pull it off nicely. So got 1 whiz on the left creating the funnel. That's going to be sending the Queen where he wants her to go, takes out a couple of these defenses up here, and the Queen is going to continue on her walk. King comes down on the left side, creates a little funnel with wizards. It's nice, only the 4 wizards, so nothing too excessive. And now the whole top left side has indeed been cleared out. So when the Valkyries come in, they just run right to the center. The Rage is going to rip them up, and it's going to be able to take out the Queen, take out these CCs. In fact, Joey actually almost doesn't get the poison down fast enough. The CC is just gone that quickly. Meanwhile, the Queen is still going to be walking around, and then in come the hogs on the left-hand side. Some of those top pieces are even being taken out by some wizards, but we get the nice, as I always say, my favorite synergy when we've got the Valkyries being healed up and the hogs being healed up, and even a little bit the King being healed up there, so that's always going to be good for them. The Queen still got her healers, the King has not used his ability, so now it's just a question of sort of converging around so we can sort of probably speed it up here. There's not really much, just can these cannons pick off enough Valkyries, but even then, the Queen with her healers is coming around, so it's all over for this attack, and indeed, he manages to very nicely clean it up. So good job to Joey Rollerblade taking out number 4, which was by no means an easy base. Lots of good attacks this war. I also wanted to do number 7. This is ClassWhy. This is our number 19 taking on number 7. Definitely a hero attack. It was late in the war, so there's only a few things available. And he has a level 9 queen and only level 3 Valkyries against a base with these level 3 Expos. It's not entirely max base. The cannons are still down, but it's got a lot of upgraded Town Hall 9 troops. First he manages to do the lure. It's kind of funny when they do this, when they bring 2 baby dragons and a minion. I guess they don't realize that the baby dragons are not going to rage that way, but nonetheless, he puts the queen in the corner, he puts the poison on it, and he's going to be able to clear off this CC nicely with the boost from the queen, so that deals with that. And then I guess the rest of it's going to be a Govaho. You'll notice that there's this nice big compartment for the queen here. It's sort of the perfect compartment to send a golem and a bunch of Valkyries in. They'll take out all of those defenses, they'll take out the queen, and then they'll go on with the jump spell that he brought along into this Tesla farm near the town hall and so on. So he has the wall breakers inside of the CC. That's going to open it up nicely. Everything funnels. The funnel was absolutely perfect. Almost walked out, but nonetheless gets absolutely everything in. Giant bombs go off, so he heals them up. The jump is put down so he can connect into the center compartments here. The Tesla farm pops, and now it's just a matter of getting those Valks to take out those Tesla farms. You want to have them go as fast as possible, but doesn't have a rage. He's only relying on the heals. Hogs come in from all sides of the map. They're being healed up in 2 different places. They've been healed through a double giant bomb there, but they got it one after another, which is really good. And look how many hogs he has right now. The base is completely wrecked, and it's just a matter of cleanup. And look at all those hogs going down. We also got the Valkyries, we got the Golemite, we got the King, we've got the Queen. So an absolute smash of their number 7 by our number 19. So good job to Ryan. And finally, if we go back to the war mat, the last person I wanted to look at was MG, and he's going to be coming up here with, again, the 3 healer queen walk. This is a pretty high level base. In fact, it looks like a max base in terms of all but the air defenses. Of course, has to do the walls and has to do the heroes, but in terms of the rest of the defenses, we've got all of those upgraded. And he's going to begin with some exploitable minion. Of course, these bases that put all the trash in these big rings on the outside, having a few minions to sort of clean it up is really nice, particularly when you want to have Valkyries, because Valkyries, if they get out of that ring, they're going to run the entire way around the base, which we don't want to have happen. So he has his minions going in, he lures with the hog, it's going to be a dragon, and he's going to have to be careful here, because he actually only had the 1 healer. It's a kind of clever way to do it. The healer died, but he's got 2 more. He only needed to put down the 1 healer because he was only facing just that 1 little tiny bit of space. So it's a perfect way to save to save the extra healers. I wonder if he's going to put the last 2 down. Perhaps I did not watch this attack fully. At some point, presumably, the healers are going down. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's going to sacrifice the healers. They're just going to go on the Valkyries. The Queen's just sort of doing work with 1 thing, so he just doesn't care about the Queen. Actually, that works perfectly fine. Jump and Valkyries into the center, and they're just going to rage around the core. I remember this. I like this way of doing it. They don't take the jump, annoying though that is. So the Valkyries end up going the entire way around this central core with the Tesla farm in the middle. I think he got 1 of them earlier, but it doesn't really matter because anytime you have that open core in the center, they go so quickly around it. They clear so much damage and have walls that even though he has to go the whole way around the Tesla farm, he still has a whole bunch of Valkyries left over, and of course his hogs have come in and they're going to be doing work. So it actually works out to be a really nice attack. And that Queen, the one I was wondering where the healers were, she's still up. So it was a really good eye noting that you did not need to put all the healers on here, and so she's going to still sort of go around the trash ring, and we got a ton of Valkyries and hogs and the King and the Queen both barely alive and some minions, and so an absolutely good smash for MG as well.